Hi, Natural Awakenings family. Thanks for joining us here on our channel. We're just going to lay out some options around cooling down your vinyasa practice with this half camel flow. I'm going to show a few different options. Some are mat-based, some are chair-based. It's a great optional vinyasa to add into your practice when the summer months are getting hot and on top of you, and you're looking to not take quite so much heat and sensation into your flow. So if we imagine that we start in a quadruped position, we might notice that a cow-cat feels really appropriate in our body to inhale to cow and to exhale to cat. Notice that as you inhale to cow, there might be a little less efforting than when you know you're taking a more heated practice. And you could intersperse cat with hips towards heels, like a child's pose variation here. A little more active, staying rounded as you inhale and unfurl to cow, and exhale something crouchy, hips towards heels. This is already different from interspersing downward facing dog into your practice, but if you wanted to do the two, you could inhale to cow and exhale downward facing dog, omitting what we might consider to be a more traditional vinyasa with downward facing staff and chaturanga or ashtangasana included. Exhaling, hips towards heels. Inhaling to cow, tuck toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. And that would be a nice alternating flow. As we begin to add in a back bending component that's alternate from something like cobra or upward facing dog, we can add in that half camel. And our first time might actually be seated in virasana, where we feel a kind of back bend and a twist, inhaling here, exhaling, returning to midline, inhaling to cow, exhaling, child's pose or downward facing dog. And then taking second side, returning knees to mat, tops of feet to the earth, feeling half camel, Ardha Ustrasana, with this knees down variation. Coming back through center, inhaling to cow, exhaling, child's pose or downward facing dog. That's one variation. I'm going to show that in completion here. Inhaling to cow, exhaling, downward facing dog. Returning knees to earth and inhaling, sweeping into your first half camel with a virasana base, a hero's pose base. Coming back through midline, inhaling to cow, exhaling, child's pose or downward facing dog. Looking second side, sweeping into half virasana or half camel variation. And returning to midline, inhaling to cow, collarbones drawing laterally, exhaling, downward facing dog. That's a really nice vinyasa variation. If you wanted to develop your half camel a little bit further, we can bring hand to sacrum, to block, or to foot. And so I'll place my block in preparation for that, and I'll demonstrate each of those in half camel. So if we inhale to cow, feeling that neutral midline, exhaling, hips towards heels. Inhale, returning and taking hand to sacrum, fingertips pointing down, sweeping alternate arm into a half camel. And then returning to midline, inhaling to cow, exhaling, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Returning knees to earth, taking alternate side, palm to the sacrum, fingertips facing down. Inhale, sweeping into half camel. Exhale, returning to midline. Inhale to cow. Exhale, child's pose, or as shown here, downward facing dog. That's a beautiful vinyasa. If you're seeking something a little bit deeper in the back bend and the twist, if that's appropriate for your body, bringing hand to block or to foot. So a half camel with the block may sit outside of your ankle, sweeping your alternate arm up and over. And this could be on both sides, using that flow. And to see it with the foot, you can even use a little traction, taking your hand to foot and sweeping into both the back bend and the twist. Returning to midline, inhale to cow. Exhale, hips towards heels. Taking alternate side, Ardha Ustrasana, half camel. Coming back through center, inhaling to cow, exhaling, downward facing dog. Really nice variations for flow, for connecting movements, thinking of it as a place to connect with your breath and movement. I like a chair-based, chair-supported variation of this as well. Exactly the same practice, same cueing. I also use my blocks here. So inhaling to cow and exhaling to cat. You'll remember that this was the same in the quadruped position. Inhaling to cow and then lowering the torso to take something crouchy like child's pose. Inhaling to cow, exhaling something a little more rounded like child's pose. Inhaling to cow, exhaling something crouchy and a little more rounded. Sweeping into half camel, inhaling here, exhaling, returning to midline, inhaling to cow, exhale, downward facing dog. Returning blocks to cow position, sweeping into other side, half camel. Feeling both a back bend and a twist. Inhaling to cow, exhale, downward facing dog. And then complete your salutation, coming up flat back. Inhale all the way up, look up, upward facing hand. Exhale, Tadasana. And I'll just so that complete cycle here in a chair-based practice. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway, and exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the earth in preparation for half camel. Same cueing as if you were at the mat, or here in the chair, place one hand to the chair seat. Inhale, sweep into your half camel, one side. Exhale, return to cow, midline. Inhale there. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sweeping into Ardha Ustrasana, half camel, second side. Inhale there, feeling both a back bend and a twist. Exhale, return to midline. Inhale, cow. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming up flat back all the way into Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hand. Exhale, Tadasana. Established yourself in your neutral midline. Have fun playing with that. I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you so much for being here and for reading our article. Take care. We'll see you next month.